So it's summertime, which means I get to spend time with my teacher friends who are still in the classroom because summer break is when they climb out of their classroom cages and can be social again. Ooh, cages? I meant to say cave. Anyway, I was having a conversation with her. Now, for the record, she's in a public school, but she's not part of the union. And I've never really worked for any length of time in a school that was part of a union. Sorry, Yeti wants to go out. Hi, Yeti. I don't really know much about what that's like. I was asking her, though, kind of her thoughts and experiences on the union. I asked her the question, do you think that unions are part of the reason that there seems to be such a strong us and them dynamic set up between teachers and administrators? And her response was, yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I think that that's really harmful. And could even be at the root of why we're not seeing meaningful change in education. Not good, positive, meaningful change, because we really need teachers and administrators to be on the same page. When I think about all the teachers I talk to all across North America, so the US and Canada, and the reasons that they are leaving the classroom, a lot of it comes back down to their administration, to feeling unsupported by their administration, to their admin being completely out of touch with what's happening in the classroom, with the realities of the day-to-day teaching life. And I think, and lack of support. Huge one is lack of support and lack of consequences for poor student behavior. That's a big one, especially when it goes to students that are threatening the safety of teachers and the safety of other students in the classroom. And that's one that I have encountered in both public and private schools. So that is not exclusive. You're not going to completely avoid that by choosing one versus the other. But at any rate, I think that's something that we need to look at is we got to find a way to find some really good collaboration between school administrators and their teachers. And one of the things that occurs to me needs to be a part of this is that teacher attrition or teacher retention or teacher turnover, however you want to word it or however you want to look at it, needs to be a part of how principals are evaluated. So I've been looking through how principals are evaluated in my state of Pennsylvania, and there's one teeny little line about being a custodian of school culture, but there is nothing that addresses teacher turnover or teacher attrition. And I think that adding that one part in there about having to really understand your teacher turnover rate, that needs to be a part of how principals are evaluated. Because I've sat in interviews where not a single administrator at that interview had any idea what their teacher turnover rate is. Food for thought.